Gentlemen, ladies and look, I ain't got to look down too much no more. I put it up where I can look over at the comments. I'm not looking like I'm about to doze off no more. Listen, I can just look over here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
bye.
Good
Ladies
morning.
and gentlemen, good morning, gang. We're in the building. Uh-oh, did I
Yes,
change?
sir.
Hold up, I might have made a snafu. I made a sniggity snap figgity. I did. I got to change the episode on here, but it's all right. I do that when I what you call it. I uh, I forgot to I put the wrong episode on here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good
Uh oh,
morning,
J
Richard
Man.
Walker.
Oh,
Good
Shiggity be love got her
morning.
head down. She must have had
Yeah,
a
yeah.
wonderful weekend. Wonderful weekend. You know, she was around the world and yeah.
Okay. I stop capping. Good morning. Good morning, J-Man. Good morning, Night Rider. Blessings to you. We see y'all.
Mrs.
Happy
Ryder, what's
Monday.
going on?
Yes, I finally did my wig, y'all.
She said, I got to be luxurious today.
I
Let her know
finally
I
did my
got her.
wig.
She said,
Okay.
I got her.
Yes. Good morning, Des BX. Happy Monday, guys.
Des and D, they be in the building. Super. At times I know who it was usually Des that's commenting, but sometimes it be D commenting, his wife. But most times it be Des with the shenanigans.
Always. I love his shenanigans too. I love shenanigans.
That part. Hey Sabrina, good morning. J Man, you know how we do.
Good
Mrs. Ryder, Night
morning.
Rider,
Good morning, Mrs.
the
Ryder, to
whole team.
you.
Listen, as y'all come in,
Sabrina, good morning.
y'all know what to do. Hit that good old like button, the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. And guess what? We're back heavy notification bell. Bing! Yeah, I'm talking about get it in. That way you get them
Yes.
notifications that we live. What's goody like the mob? All y'all over here on this good old IG. Come on over to YouTube Harlem.
Good
Unknown Love,
morning. Thank you so much,
South Central, Jay
Miss
Brown,
Ryder, to you.
so
I appreciate
happy.
you.
Chef DeWage. Come on over to that good tube, the good YouTube, the get right. We're going up your way. It's the Good Morning Gang morning show here on the good YouTube. Listen,
As good morning.
on the good YouTube, ladies and gentlemen.
ZZ. Wee.
Oh
Hold
damn,
on, Phil. We need a minute to admire be love.
J Man told me to
You.
hold my roll. He said, ho, wait a minute, we need a moment to admire Miss B Lover. Okay,
Oh, I love y'all. Y'all so
have at
sweet.
it. I don't want no problem. I don't want no problem.
You
Have
are
at
so sweet. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. You know, it's funny because I always wear my hair up, and it really is nothing other than it's just easier. But I know it's definitely different when I wear it down. Share the live, y'all. Share the
that
live.
part.
Get the thumbs up. Get the thumbs up. We're gonna talk that ish. Let me know how y'all weekend was. How was your weekend? What did you guys do? Yes, thank you, Night Rider. Night Rider, you are on your game, like for
All day and
sure.
day. Tell them, Night Rider, it's
Thank you
something
so
about that DC
much.
flavor. You just can't. It's unmistakable. You hear me?
Is that where you are, Night Rider in DC?
That's a fact. The Mundo. Undisputed Trinity. R&B. Y'all come on over to the good YouTube. Ash Cash. Hey. Good morning. Come on over to the YouTube. Mr. Unbiatch yourself. Come on over.
Come
RD.
on
RD.
in. Come on in. What you guys do this weekend? I think I'm in DC all day.
That
What you
part.
guys get into other than watching our teams lose? Both.
I was at my son's basketball game for most of the weekend. Lord.
Uh, well, I hope he won. Cause them Knicks took it in the shorts, and so did those Warriors. Just so you
Pause.
know.
Pause. I don't know what taking it in the shorts mean, but pause. Okay, it don't sound good or pleasurable. Pause.
It ain't good. It's not good.
Lord have mercy.
What y'all want to talk about? We have so much to talk about. It's the weekend rewind coming up. I was working all weekend. Oh, chef
You at
life.
work.
Okay, Night Rider. Hey, now get off the Warriors. Like, no, listen, I'm not ragging on the Warriors. They're my adopted team. I said that yesterday. Well, I said that Friday. It was just sad to watch both of our teams lose. The Knicks, just heartbreaking. But it's just like, you know what? It's a series, so we just have to stay committed, keep supporting, keep
Of course. Yeah.
cheering them on. It doesn't just we just got to stay committed.
It ain't over till some fat lady sing, "We are
Right.
the world.
Not we are the world.
We are the children."
Not the children. Y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to be some ball players. Cause that's what we need. We
Listen.
used to the Knicks losing. No, I know.
Hey,
Listen,
come on over here.
I just am so proud of them and where they've gone this year. What I'm afraid of with the Knicks is that they get this great run, they'll do great this year, and then we won't see them for another 10 years, which
10,
is
try
really just
30.
unfortunate. You know, trying to give a little grace here, okay? But I really don't know what went on with the Warriors either. It was crazy. But this weekend, so much went down. We're gonna wait a little bit before we get into the news. But a king was crowned, King Charles, which to me he'll always be Prince Charles. King Charles got crowned this weekend. It was his coronation. Thoughts
Oh,
everywhere thought they may have an opportunity because his wife now, who used to be his side chick, is now a queen. Ladies, it does not usually work out that way, so don't get excited. Side chicks everywhere were like, "We got a shot. I could be a queen." Look at Phil's face.
you ain't heard me.
A
Oh,
couple.
did it while we in here. Good, good, good. I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Next problem is they spend all their money on one person. They do. That's true. That's because their owner is too busy trying to keep people out of the building with his paranoid self,
yeah.
spending money on face recognition. Did y'all see Charleston White in the Freaknik documentary? I did not. I'm going to check out that Freaknik documentary this week so that we can talk about it on Wednesday. Because I'm sure gonna have my peepers on and be like, "Who I know up in here?" Because
You
it
know,
ain't me.
be love in there somewhere like that. Oh, don't stop, get it. Don't stop,
No,
work, get it.
that's why I was so grateful that my mom raised me conservatively how she did, because I couldn't be at a freak meet. Like I had it was just it's overwhelming to me to be around so many people, not be in control. You know what I'm saying in terms of how people are gonna react and respond. Top of the morning, Packy Week.
Paggy Reek with that good pack coming
Happy
through. You feel
Monday.
me?
So yeah, you just never know. One of the things that I did you went to that I did go to when I was a kid was the Puerto Rican Day Parade. That was like my mom's thing. Like she would have us out there 6 in the morning on a curb. We had all the sandwiches, the juices. Yeah, she used to bring out a balloon from somewhere because you know how you be wanting the little balloons and you want toys. And so, she was a single mom for a long time. So she would just bring everything with us. She'd be like, "Oh, you want a balloon?" She had the shopping cart with the wheels, y'all. You know which one I'm talking about. When you put the laundry in, it would be full of stuff. And she would be like, "Mommy, I want a balloon." She'd be like, "Hold on." You got a balloon. "Mommy, I'm hungry. What you want? A sandwich, ham, tuna, egg?"
Oh, she had it going on in that shopping cart, huh?
Mom had everything in that shopping cart. God bless her. But as we got older, especially as a little kid, it wasn't so bad. But as you get older, you start to see, the how young women were getting touched. It was a whole situation too. I think one year in Central Park, how women would be getting, physically assaulted. They would be, feeling these
Man,
girls up, and it was really bad. So I stayed away from stuff like that because I just try to never put myself in a position. Evolution, Brooklyn,
then the house without a doubt.
without a doubt.
I was going to ask you when did when it has it always been that way, or when did it morph into what we saw of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, where there was group gropings and all kinds of freaknikish gone wrong type of
Right.
activity.
Right.
When did it
I
morph into
think
that? Oh,
I think it was always kind of that way a little bit. I think it was just more discreet, and I think that that particular year, when it got really bad, was when it was talked about. I think it was always happening, but that was the year that it was kind of brought to light
mm,
that women were getting assaulted. Like again, I think I stopped going when I was maybe 12 years old. But before that, you would just walk in with your mom. And my mother was very diligent. She knew what it was. So she had me and my brother like under the vice grip. But you would just walk in and see, dudes just putting their hands on women's bodies and touching them because it's so crowded and it's so tight and everybody's just on each other. So, yeah. So
I,
Freaknik for me was a no.
I went up there one. I went up there one year, and I was accosted by about 12 women's. They did. They was all over my body. I was
Damn,
I was in the
big
corner by
fan.
the alley. I felt I was like,
Oh
why you
God.
touch me like that?
I
You
felt
just
so
set the figure up and take it. I'm like, no. No, hold on. Now, let me stop. Let me stop.
right. He was
I'm
like,
not gonna make that.
yes.
No, some real shit. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Forgive me. Please forgive me. You know,
You know what's funny is we laugh, but men get assaulted too.
that's a fact.
M-
That's a fact.
Men get assaulted
They
too.
probably
Men
would have
get
liked it
raped
if
too.
they probably would have liked it if
But that's
about
the
10,
thing.
12
You don't
lovely,
know that they did.
lovely, beautiful Puerto Rican sisters. Yeah, I'm talking about both equals. Would have been putting paws on. They be like, man, girl, what you doing? Hey, what's up? Okay.
Right.
But
Let's slow down. Buy me a drink first. Like
yeah, where we going
buy me
later?
a
Where the
buy
party?
me a coquito first. What you mean? A little piragua. You
But we
feel me?
definitely do not want to make light of
It's
people
gonna
that
get
were
lit. It's
violently
gonna get wild.
or assaulted and or touched without you
Yeah.
not wanting to be touched, because there were people that wanted to be, but then there were plenty more that did not. They were just in the festivities and got caught up basically in a walking through a drive by of some
Right.
dumbass dudes doing wrong shit when it comes to the women. And so we don't, we make jokes and we laugh about certain aspects of it, but we do not want to diminish or, what I'm saying, make light of people that were
No.
sexually assaulted or done wrong at a time. We don't want that.
Right. No. Not at all. And you know what I really find interesting is this weekend, and I'll ask you what you got into this weekend yourself, co-host. But this weekend I said Friday I was going to Philly, which
Uh-huh.
I did.
Uh-huh.
And I stayed at if anybody knows me, this is not the bougie in me. This is just very honest. I only stay at Marriott properties. Um, I am not bougie. I only stay at Marriott properties. I've been staying at Marriott for years. I first of all I have a hookup, but number two, good morning, Keisha Hall.
Come on.
But there's a reason why. And so I was just in Philly a month ago to go see my girl Nikki Strong. Shout out to Nikki. Didn't get a chance to see her this go round, but I stayed in a Marriott. Then it was no problem. I went back to the same Marriott. Didn't realize it at the time. Pull up to the same Marriott, and I see all of these people outside. So I'm like, man, it must be a busy weekend up in here because I see all of these dudes sitting outside. Now, as a woman, I'm in front of I'm in front of a hotel. So, on one hand, I'm like, okay, there's a measure of safety, but on the other hand, I'm like, I felt a little uncomfortable that there were all
Keisha,
of these men just sitting out front.
R&B.
Come to find out, good morning, R&B.
Because
Come to find out, the hotel, I guess, is housing homeless people or homeless men.
Mm.
So, you have a certain kind of, people out. And let me tell you, I'm not talking about somebody being homeless because anybody can have that circumstance. But I am talking about I don't know who these people are. You know what I'm saying? When I go into a hotel, I'm not used to pulling up and having like all these random dudes standing out the front. I felt a little uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable as a woman. And so, I'm talking to Mark about it, and he's like, you can't make any assumptions. I said, I'm not making assumptions, but I'm a single woman by myself. At this
Oh,
point, I just don't want to be walking through some hotel and I don't know who these people are. Let's not act like everybody's good people. Everybody's not good people. It's not a race thing. It's just a situation thing. So, I was very aware of it. And when you talk about things like the Puerto Rican Day Parade and stuff like that, it's like you don't want to be that person who's crossing the street when you see a black man walking and tightening up your purse. But there is a safety issue that you do need to consider as a woman by herself. Am I tripping?
where hotel did you stay at this time?
There was the Marriott Courtyard. It was on Presidential Boulevard, and there's a Marriott. There's a Hilton right up the street. The area itself wasn't like didn't make me feel unsafe or dangerous. It was, it looked like a business area. There's a Target over there, TGI Friday. But again, I pull up to the hotel and I see all of these men just lined up outside. Like it was almost like if you were going to the projects. And I was just like, what's going on? First, I thought it was like a family reunion. I'm like, yeah, maybe the hotel's just full. But then you see a certain quality of people and you're like, oh, okay. I said, they
Sometimes,
clearly,
sometimes homeless shelters. I don't know up in Philly. I don't know how that works or up in other areas, but down here they'll give vouchers, hotel vouchers, where they'll
yes.
like say if they don't have enough capacity in the shelter itself, they'll get hotel vouchers and send them those. So that could be a possibility. Could be, or maybe the neighborhood. Maybe
No, it was no, for sure it was because when then you go downstairs for breakfast, it's like it's just very different. It was just a very different experience. My question is, is it the hotel's responsibility to let us know that they're housing homeless people there? Give us a choice to stay there or not? I think that was my biggest angst. Like, you should let me know, let me figure out if I want to stay here.
they might have wanted you to give yourself the opportunity to decide whether you wanted
Blend in.
some unrefined beef grease. You got virgin and extra virgin olive oil. You got refined and unrefined shea butter. You you got refined beef grease and unrefined beef.
Oh my god.
They might have tried to give you the opportunity to see for yourself.
I never want unrefined beef grease. I
They
just
said they
it's
was
no.
outside lined
I
up. Maybe that was for your perusing to say, okay, not you, not that, and this. Your grease looking tainted. This grease looking clouded.
not your
This. Hey, Cuban
not
baby.
your grease is looking tainted. Good morning, lovely Tink.
Say what you
Yeah, no. I just kind of feel like, I travel all the time. I travel by myself a lot too. And, I don't want to feel intimidated and I don't want to feel unsafe wherever I am. You know what I'm
want.
saying? So I try to be very conscientious about that. I'm clearly gonna have to get my bottle of shoot and scoot. Luckily
What the hell is
everything
shoot?
worked out
What
fine.
the hell is shooting?
Mace,
That's called
mace,
in school. That sounds
shoot
like
and
some
scoot.
backwood.
Pop them in the eye and hurry up and get your ass on out of there. Shoot
That
and
sounds like
scoot.
some backwood Muttley, Kentucky type of. You got your shooting scoot with you.
That's what you need,
Damn
your
it.
shoot and scoot. Okay, Evolution, you just know when something don't feel right for your own boundaries. Right. And so they're getting in the elevator. You know what I'm saying? We're getting in the elevator. I'm getting in the elevator. Now, again, I travel all the time. So I'm not saying, and I'm not certainly not making any like assumptions about anybody, but it was just a little bit wild for me. So Evolution's like, yeah, they should be. I agree. They should like not have the loitering out front. It kind of changed the dynamic of the building, but letting other patrons know, not at all. I'm probably not because they was damn sure getting that hotel voucher money. Just so you know, breakfast and all of that was just like it was wild to walk into the lobby and see people playing spades. Like it was just real. It was a very different
Situation.
vibe. Yeah, and I was just like, and again, not a bad thing because I would have got in on the game of spades. I'm not mad, but it's just a different kind of vibe. So it was, interesting. But what did you guys get into this weekend? You should have stayed at the Marriott downtown. I know, but my friend Adrian. So yesterday I went to. It was a sips shop and
A
taste.
shit, a ship. It was
A
what?
ship, a shot, and a chase. Yeah, no.
Let's shit, let's shot, let's cheese.
Let's see, right, literally all of that. It was really, really nice. My girl Adrian, who sells shea butter, that she organic, she makes on her own. She had a nice little table. It was refined. It was refined shea butter, and other things. And it was a nice little crowd that came out. It was a really nice situation, but it was closer to the hotel was closer to her. And so I really went out there a day early to help her kind of get herself together, get whatever she needed last minute, stuff like that. So, but yeah, for sure, I need to be down in some downtown area. So, what you do this weekend, co-host?
Basketball tourney. My son played AAU basketball. If any of y'all know, it's out of the school system. It's like a traveling basketball team. So they'll play people like where I'm at. They might play a DC team. They might play a Philly team. They might play teams from other areas or whatever. And it could be this time it was here in my area, but it could be in Virginia Beach. Could be in Philly. Could be in New York.
Okay.
A number of places. So I did that Saturday and Sunday to be a buck. And I had on some Jordans on Saturday, you know what I'm saying, that had my feet throbbing by the afternoon. Them joints was like,
Okay.
I was,
Welcome to our world.
I was walking like an old man. Y'all think my age is what it is? I was walking like that by the afternoon. It was like, oh, oh. Yeah. So Sunday I had on some more comfortable shoes. I said, yeah, okay, we're not doing that. We
So
not doing
I
that.
first of all, those
No
Jordans,
sandals.
yeah, your Jesus sandals. You should have here Gucci LV in the building. OTF only the
Gucci LV,
family.
LTF in the
Good
building. Big
morning.
money gang.
Good morning. Um, those Jordans, I've only wore them one time. I'm not a big. In fact, I really need sneaker help. Like my sneaker game is just
It's
not
whack.
because
It's whack.
it's a little it needs help. Only because I love to wear heels, but I can't wear them anymore like that.
Why?
So, because I can't do the wear heels all day. Like,
The bunions be hitting against the side of the sandal. You like,
I don't have a bunion.
uh,
Okay, stay
Marky
out my
Mark told
shoe.
me different. Marky Mark told me.
Stay out my shoe
He said he
game.
tried to kiss them. He said he
Okay.
tried to kiss them things and cut
Yeah,
his lip right there. Cut his lip.
no, no, he did not say that. But my sneaker game does need work. But I did have one time my daughter bought me a pair of Jordans. Exactly. Bought me a pair of Jordans. They were not comfortable. I'm like what you feel. I was like, why are y'all wearing these sneakers? Like, what is the point? Is it just for looks? Is it for stat? I don't know, but
They
they were
used to
not
be a lot
comfortable.
more comfortable, but it seemed like they make them more narrower now. That's what it seemed like. But I got shoe stretchers. They go down in the shoe and it helps stretch it out a little something. And I already did
Hmm.
that. Maybe I need to redo it or something because after I did it, when I did it before, they were good for
They
like a
just
couple
stretch
times I
back.
wore them. But they went back like, no, we on snapback status, like some good Punani Twani. Like, man, had my feet in the death grip. I was like, you know how a man try to shake a man's hand and he trying to insert himself and he's squeezing them knuckles. That's what the shoes was doing. It was like,
Not
you got
today.
it, you got it.
We gonna keep you snatched.
Air Max is
Jordan's
comfortable. That's a
amazing.
fact. Air Max
Yeah,
is
Air
obviously.
Max gets you. Okay, they
They
always
are
look
made
good
the
on
same.
women.
Okay. Aren't made the same. I
Okay.
didn't think they was. I didn't think they was. Them joints, like, they hug like them dudes in the Puerto Rico Day Parade. Just accosting,
Okay.
like, oh, my bunions and toes. Just,
All across in your butt. Oh wow! Cut those toenails
they,
down. Cut them down.
know the toenails is good. I'm telling you, it's just like this. You have your toes up and they like,
I listen. You know, I understand. I have a couple of pair of red bottoms. They are literally
Facts
made
there,
to just be
Al.
seen and no walking. I gotta break Jordans in first. Hey Al, good morning. I'm gonna definitely get on those Air Maxes. Thank you, J Man,
Yeah, Air
for
Max
real.
comfortable, very comfortable.
So there was a lot that went on this weekend. Like I said, there was a king who was crowned, King Charles and his thought wife, Queen Consort
I've been,
Camilla.
I've been
Ladies,
crowned.
again, okay. What we talking about over there? Good morning, Sabrina. We're
Nation.
talking about over in England. That happened this weekend. Congratulations to King Charles. You got one foot in the grave, bro. So I don't know how long you're gonna last under that crown, but do your best. That's all I'm gonna say.
Lord,
Do better.
you wishing that man to get up out of here early. You wishing
Do
that man to
better.
get out of here early. But he is about
Do
what,
better.
70? He up there, ain't he? Well, how old is he?
Yeah.
Oh
He,
Lord.
he's about 70.
Old
He's
man ain't
old. Let me look up his yeah. How old is King Charles? Do you wonder to yourself, like, why do we even still have a monarchy? Like, why? Do you think it's necessary? Why you make that look? Why'd your
I don't
eyes
know.
get so big like
It
that?
is it is crazy in this day and age, and I don't know how their government works. I don't know. Does it even matter that they're there, or is it just a symbolic thing, or historically symbolic thing that they keep going? I don't get it either. It's just like, okay, go sit in there, go ahead, get your little castle, mind your business. Do you matter? Do you
With your
do you
billions
get
of
called?
dollars, just
Because
billions of
they
dollars.
have they have prime ministers, right, that are equivalent to the president here, right? So then what do you do? What's your
Roll,
goal?
right?
Yeah. Do you make
Collect
any
money,
policy changes?
collect
Do
money.
you do you make policy changes? You know do you snap your fingers and people make it happen? I don't
I
know.
mean, listen, all they do is collect that money and live a fabulous life from what I see. King Charles is 74 years
Uh,
old. God bless him. I'm not mad at it. Exactly. I'm with you, J Man. Keisha Hall said, "Oh my God, so many people I know did coronation tea parties for the crowning. I'm not that invested."
man,
J
coronate
Man,
Eve and crown Eve. That's what you do. Because I'm not worried about nothing over
okay.
there. No old butter that ain't about nothing. Look, they ain't helping me and mine. I ain't worried. Y'all have at it. You can have your tea and
J Man.
crumpets and all that.
Tea, crumpets, crowns. Listen, it's a whole situation. The only thing that I love about it is that it carries on tradition. I just am not sure exactly what tradition other than just handing down wealth. Now, honestly, that's what if you have to give the crown anything, it is the fact that they hand down generational wealth. That money ain't going nowhere. That
Man,
royals money ain't
they
going
got four
nowhere.
brown shillings. They got 4 brown shillings and some funny paper money with their face. They ain't got no.
Okay,
They probably got that long bread, that
listen.
long
They,
bread.
they, they have
Hey, Miss A Block.
castles, they have
Hey,
property.
Kisses.
I think that's what people don't
Hey,
understand
Devly. Good
is
morning.
good morning. J Man said, what people are throwing parties for them putting the cheese on the cracker?
Oh,
That's
you hear
exactly what they
me?
throw
Yeah,
parties for.
tea, crumpets, little
Morning,
biscottis, little
Exo.
hard ass little biscuits,
Kiss.
cookies.
Morning. Good morning, young
Young
Dreads.
Trey,
Adrian in the
the money
building.
gang. Adrian.
We were just talking about your event, girl. Give us a few minutes if you want to come on in. Just go up to the link up top. You could
Make
come
sure I got it
in,
pinned
talk
up there.
about your refined shea butter.
Yeah, pinned
Um,
up there. It's pinned.
but yeah, I think what I love is that they hand down. So that's the thing that people don't understand. First of all, some of these crowns that they're wearing, the crown that they even crowned him in, are worth millions of dollars in jewels, diamonds, semi-precious stones, just in the crown. Like it's insane. But what people don't understand is even with Camilla, the queen consort now queen, with every title comes property, lands, taxes. So the people who are renting, let's just say, in certain, in parts of England, that money goes to the owners of the land, and the owners of the land are royalty. So whether it's dukes, duchess, that's why all of these titles matter, because when they hand all of this stuff down, it's money that's coming in for doing nothing, for just having a little old crown. But I'm not mad
And
at it.
let's be clear, a lot of their wealth, a strong bulk of their wealth, came out of the slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be let's be clear about that. A lot of people don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about that, but those queens and kings of whatever over there were heavily into the slave trade at a time. Now people are
Yep.
trying to dial back and forget history and
This is
or
colonizer.
reparate without
Yep.
reparating. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
yeah,
That's
your
what Knight
highness,
Rider
and them,
said.
your highness and them was a part of it. Of course, not these people because they're not from that time, but their forefathers and foremothers who held these prestigious positions.
Yeah. And it's funny because, now they're
That's
talking
a
about
fact.
things like, was royalty ever like black? And there actually for sure was black royalty. Like,
At
let's
the
not get it
time, yeah,
confused.
that's a fact.
They're talking about the fact that Queen Elizabeth, I don't know if you've ever heard of Bridgerton, if anybody has watched that show on Netflix. I actually love it. I haven't seen the season yet, but this season is talking about Queen Elizabeth, how she married King George, I believe the third. And the big talk is that is she African American, which she is. So it's not like there was never a place for royalty within, other races. It's just that they always make the narrative what they want to make it, which is that white people are powerful. So who said it ended, Phil? Those
Right
diamonds in their crowns were stolen from Africa. Yeah, I agree. There's actually even one large one that they had removed because there's so much controversy
behind it.
behind the stone.
Hmm.
So, but it is what it is. It's happening with or without us. We don't have to like it. Why we care so much and they don't like black people. I what I find
Personally,
interesting
I
is
don't.
right. I was gonna say what I find interesting is that there are some people who really are into this whole royal thing. Like they pay, like it's almost like that's their dynasty. You know what I'm saying? You remember Dynasty
The
with
TV show.
Alexis and all? that was that was their dynasty. So, but it's news. So I just wanted to talk about it. We could definitely for sure move on because there's definitely stuff going on. Agreed, J man. Agreed.
I
Um,
think B
there's
Lover,
definitely
Lover got a fetish where she wants to be coronated and made a queen and wear a crown and
You could throw that crown on my head, boo. I already got an invisible crown, but if it has some value to it, I am not
oh, well,
mad.
well, all right, all right.
The
She just
bigger
put
the
the jewels
diamond,
and
the
gems
better.
on me. Yeah. She be after
Crown me.
listen. After they coordinated, she be like, took that crown. Let me pluck these diamonds. I'm like,
Okay.
what?
Be like, here, I gotta get the CZ version. They suspect over here because if I
You
go to
hear
this
me?
Marriott, they gonna get my ass.
If you at that Marriott, they be like, oh, there she go. Look at that
Get
crown.
her.
Get her.
They for sure gonna snatch my behind.
You hear me? Like,
But
man, you got one.
get her. I won't make it out of there. Um, But other stuff happening here in our news. Another shooting this weekend. I really don't understand how we can't get
In
one
Texas.
weekend. Well, not one weekend past everything, all of this nonsense that's going on. And so there was a Texas mall shooting, and the Allen police eye a possible neo-Nazi extremist of a gunman who killed 8 at an outlet. Mauricio Garcia, 33, was identified as a gunman who killed 8 victims in a mass shooting at the Allen Premium Outlets on Saturday. Investigators in Texas are looking into possible neo Nazi and white supremacist beliefs. Killed 8 in a mass shooting at a shopping mall in Allen. Mauricio Garcia, 33, was identified as a gunman who entered the Allen Premium Outlets on Saturday afternoon and opened fire on innocent shoppers with an AR-15 style rifle. 8 victims died in the attack before the gunman was shot dead by a law enforcement officer who was already on the scene for an unrelated incident. The motive for the attack remains unknown, but the gunman was wearing a patch reading RWDS, standing for Right Wing Death Squad, as he carried out the rampage. Police sources told NBC News that Garcia, an Army veteran who worked as a security guard, posted neo Nazi and white supremacist content online. And they flagging us for a little old curse word or saying the R word? I don't
That part.
understand.
That
As
part.
details continue to emerge about the gunman, the victims are starting to be identified. Christian LaCour, 20-year-old security guard at the mall, and Aishwarya, I don't want to mess up your name, sis, an engineer who was shopping at the time, were both identified by family members.
Oh,
We just out here trying to shop and get our discount on.
just get our, our goodies, our treats and
And
gifts.
I just don't.
Okay?
What's going on?
We living
Oh,
in a
shit.
messed up world. There's a lot of mental illness. We talk about it here and there. Um, Anytime you feel as though you want to go pull up on just a random location and shoot random people, just because of an ideology or just a bad moment or day, says
Hey,
a lot about your mental wherewithal. And unfortunately, we're in a day and age where mental health issues are real and they're rampant because a lot of areas, one, aren't prepared to deal with them. Two, they close down certain facilities and or treatment centers, and they're not being properly diagnosed and or assessed, and they're allowed to just roam free. And the fact that they can get these guns, being as such, it's
yeah.
crazy.
From anywhere, right? An
That's a fact.
AR-15 style rifle. What are you doing with a machine gun? Like, what are you doing with something that people use in war? Why? And to your point, how we're constantly getting flagged just for using the R word. The guy there's so many people who are getting flagged for content that is important and that matters. Nobody flagged this guy or saw that he had an issue. What do you do with it?
And it's just crazy, and it's sad that you got to tell people what I'm about to say. That when you're out and about, you just got to be very vigilant. You got to pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to people walking by. You don't have to live in fear or walk in fear, but you do need to have your eye and your head on a swivel and see what's going on. Not to be nosy, just to make sure that if something strange looks strange, that you can either get out the way, or if you're that type of person, alert who you need to alert, whatever the case may be. But you would, do yourself a disservice by not paying attention and you messing around catching a bullet, or your loved one, your babies catch a bullet from one of these sicko some of them, in these situations. Because and the thing of it is, you think, okay, I'm not going to the mall no more. I'm just going to Amazon. It ain't just the mall. You could be in a church setting. You could be in a park. You could be
Movies,
in a corporate
supermarket.
building. You in a movie. You could be in any number of
Yeah.
places. You just have to pay attention to people and what they're doing, because people ain't wrapped too tight. They're not wrapped too tight at all, and they get thought process, and they, because their mental is already off. Once they get a hold of a group or organization or verbiage that kind of resonates with them, their mind will just go
Mm-hmm.
overdrive with these things and cause them to want to act out and actually be super soldiers or super warriors for whatever this cause or ideology or this foolishness, bullshittery is. And
Yep.
it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. Just be mindful. Just be mindful.
It really is. It really is. It's really scary. But at the same time, people have been saying, don't stop living your life. Like, still keep doing what you're doing. But we absolutely, J man, we have to keep our peace and we have to be mindful, because at the same time, I'm just out here trying to get my little shop on. Mother's Day
That
is,
part.
next weekend. People are out just trying to prepare, to do something nice for their mom or just go out shopping. And now it's just like, it's crazy. Um, Wanted to swing back about, and we're gonna talk about Usher and Chris Brown getting into some kind
These are
of
my confessions. Ah,
tete to tete.
ow.
Okay. Well, Chris Brown was trying to confess something. There's a lot of hate, especially self-hate and straight dummies leading community in fear, hearsay, and fuckery. Well, yeah, exactly. Even this whole neo-not, like, why do you hate somebody so much? And hate is taught. It's not something that people are raised with. It is a taught situation and emotion. And so it's really, really sad. that that we live in this world, but we just need to stay diligent. Stay diligent. Um let's see. I wanted to talk about Scott Jordan Neely. There have been protests all weekend over the death of the young man who was choked
Yeah.
last week on a subway train. Again, you don't want to make any assumptions about anybody and how they're going to behave. But in this case, he seemed to have come off belligerent. Someone put him in a chokehold. Ultimately, he wound up passing away, and now there's all types of protests for many reasons. Um, for many reasons, because but mostly because they feel like the guy who choked him got off because he was not arrested, even though I believe now they're thinking about charging him with something or looking into it further. But I always find it interesting, and I talked about this last week with the whole mental illness thing, how now the family wants to come out and sue somebody. The family's all upset. And the family, which as well they should be, if you take my son away, my nephew, whoever, where was the family when this man was homeless?
Mm. Mm.
Now y'all want to come out and sue somebody, make a dime off of it. But where was y'all when this man was homeless?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
you know this is a disease that we are just as responsible for as the people who love these people, as they are for their self-treatment. When you're mentally ill, you don't have the wherewithal to get your treatment. You don't, if your medications are not on point, if you're not taking them. And we all know people fall off the wagon, just like they do when it comes to drinking and just when it comes to drugs. And
Mm-hmm.
where are we in terms of taking care of him? I don't know how true, but I heard the guy's dad is a cop, and that's why it's so
I was just
taking
about to
so
go there.
long.
Yeah,
Did you hear that?
he's either a chief or a retired police chief somewhere. I think in the New York State or whatever. And what they're saying is that he put in a call, and that's why he was not charged. He was allowed to go home when he did or whatever. Um, I think because of the public outcry and the viralness of that video, that it's made them to come to task like, oh, we have to do something. Like before, they probably were going to sweep it under the rug and okay, it'll be a little backlash, but it ain't gonna be nothing. But the fact that the video has gone all around the world the way it has, and they've shut down subway stations, like down on the tracks. They shut the subway stations down in New York. Not all. I don't know about all,
Yep.
but at least they saying we got to do something about this. We got to make a visible presence and a visible action to calm all this down. So they have to charge him now. Whether they're going to let him skate through the justice system, that's a whole nother thing. But they're going to have to charge that man, or it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
Yes, something needs to happen. There has to be some kind of ramification for
That's a fact.
the actions.
That's a fact.
Whether it's some kind of, I don't know, whether it's some kind of training with regards to how you respond to things. He was a Marine, and we know some of them guys come back with some real PTSD issues. Keisha, I know, trust me, as somebody who I'm in that situation, I know they don't always want to get help. I know it's not easy. You can't make them. You can't make them take their medication. You can't make them. But at the same time, it's like here he's out on the street. He's clearly suffering from some mental illness. And now again, the family gonna come out of the woodwork looking for a paycheck. Do you get to get paid now?
They shouldn't get shit to be 100. And the excuse of oh he was acting out, man. Listen, every damn near every time I've been on the subway in New York, there's some kind of character or personality or somebody that just ain't quite right. That's acting out. Should they be choked the hell out? Nah, like I said, if he was getting next to somebody or bothering somebody, knock him the fuck out. Okay, so, excuse my English. I get it. Okay, but to sit there and choke him out for that long, and them other dudes to hold his hand. The one dude looked like he was thinking about it because he tapped the guy who had him in the guy we talked about that had him in the headlock. like he was kind of
Okay.
like, oh, okay, he's good, da da da. But it was too late, too late, too little, or whatever. But yeah, if somebody come in your presence or whatever, you got to deal with that. But people are people, and as long as he wasn't physically accosting nobody or in nobody's face, all that wasn't necessary. Who the hell are you? You a fake ass guardian angel? Who are you? What are you
Right.
doing? Not like I said, if he was accosting a lady or badgering somebody, to the point of either physicalities or almost, then okay, you intervene or whatever. But if he's just standing there or off to himself or just walking up and down the thing, F the world, I hate y'all, give me money, whatever he was doing. Okay, Slim, long as you don't come over here with that with me, you go down the other end of that train with that. Or shut the figgity up. But
Wow.
it's
I
unfortunate, but
agree.
it's
I
bad.
think it's a catch 22, unfortunately. And I say that because just last year, at least 3 people were thrown off of subway tracks by homeless people. Two, I remember there's a story about a woman who got her face slashed. She was with her kids. She was
Mm,
with her kids, and they just walked up to her and slashed her face. So it's one of those situations where you want to get in front of it because you don't want somebody to get hurt. But to your
fact,
point, you don't put somebody in a chokehold for 15 minutes. Like, it's
facts,
not your right. Try to subdue him, call the police, you know what I'm saying? And just, you can't take it on because,
facts.
to your point, yeah, it is a murder charge. You killed somebody. You killed somebody, and it wasn't even in self defense that I know of. I have not
That
seen the
part, that's
video.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that part.
You know, I don't know.
And and
But
and,
to
and,
your
and
point,
it don't take 15 minutes to either render somebody unconscious and or to kill them when it comes to choking them. So to sit there
right?
for 15 minutes, and they say he might have PTSD, which is a form of mental illness. The guy that was choking him, I don't know this individual, this fella's name,
Right.
but that's a whole nother conversation. But at the same thing, that still shouldn't be no excuse to sit there for 15 minutes. After a while, something has to kick in and say, okay, I'm I'm,
Too
I'm
much.
doing too much, or this is too much.
Yeah.
And those other fellas, they need to be charged too. They need to be charged too. The ones that held his hands down, like I said, he couldn't even tap out to say, all right, you got it. Nothing,
Right.
nothing. So yeah, they
Mm.
they need to be charged too, not just the gentleman that choked him, but them other Bammers. And then
Yeah.
we need to start charging people that sit around and don't do shit in these situations. Charge them with something, I think, because morally they should be charged because you just sat there the whole time, and I'm pretty sure it was more than one person filming. Stuff needs to be documented, yes. Go ahead and document it, but there needs to be action. So many people are afraid of being arrested, being in the middle of somebody else's troubles or whatever. I get it, but as a human being, it's like, okay, what if that was your loved one? What if that was your child? What if that was your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, or whatever? You gonna sit there and let somebody do something like that to your father, your mother? Fuck, like the George Floyd situation. If that was your brother, your father, your mother, you gonna sit there and let the police just kneel on his neck the whole time? No,
Right.
you can run over there
Right.
and try to tackle the officer off of him or whatever. You ain't gonna care about getting locked up. You're not gonna care about that. Listen, and the fact that somebody's
Right.
recording will tell the true story of what the hell went on to cause you to do that. So you'll get out, or you will beat the case, or whatever. But you need to take action because they do these things, and not just the police, but other people do these things because they are allowed to do these things. They feel like
Right.
it's gonna be no retribution, no nothing that happens out of their act. They feel like they're heroes. They feel like this is what we're gonna do, what we're tasked to do. And in some places, and with the organization FOP and the police, a lot of times, not all police officers, no police don't get on my bumper. Some of y'all got it misconstrued that you're here to clean up shop, and I don't mean just to put crime away.
Right. I
Sorry for that
think it's
long.
all, no, it's okay. That's what we're talking about it. I know that people are feeling very sensitive about it. I got
Yeah,
into a conversation about it this weekend, and I'm like, for me, it's definitely a catch 22 because I've been on a train where I felt unsafe and I'll just get up and walk out, or you know what I'm saying, do whatever I need to do. But then that doesn't mean that it's okay for them to do it to other people. So it's just one of the, and to me, it's not even a color thing all the time. Like sometimes it's just a messed up situation thing, and they just so happen to be black and they just so happen to be white. So, you know, it's definitely a sensitive topic amongst everyone. I know that there were a bunch of, so there was a protest this week. This weekend, to your point, you were saying they shut down the subway system. The NYPD is actually looking for 6 people who shut down the station by jumping on the tracks. And basically, what it, you know, just looking at the article, the authorities are searching for 6 protesters who allegedly jumped on the roadbed inside an Upper East Side subway station during Saturday night demonstration tied to the killing of Jordan Neely.
Oh, it was more than 6 people
Um,
on that track. I seen some footage of it. It was like at least 50 people on.
oh, it's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. The NYPD is requesting the public's help in identifying the 6 individuals.
Man,
That ain't happening.
identify these nuts. That's what you do. Identify them. What you talking about?
We can't do that either. But I'm
Exactly.
just saying, a couple of 6 individuals who are accused of holding up an oncoming Q train at Lexington Avenue and East 63rd Street on Saturday evening. The 6 criminal trespass suspects fled from the station. So far, 12 people have been arrested tied to the protest, law enforcement sources say. Y'all arresting people for protesting and not arresting people for acting crazy on the
For
train.
doing the
The
damn thing.
charges, I just don't understand it. The charges for the 8 women and 4 men governmental administration, disorderly conduct, and assault. One person was issued a summons. I saw Keisha saying fine them at least $500. The rally went off the rails when a dozens of protesters jumped onto the roadbed and then later prevented the doors of a subway car from being shut. Service was interrupted, and one fed up strap hanger begged officers to remove the protesters while the rabble rousers verbally berated the man, according
Not
to the
rabble
footage
rouse.
of the incident. The rabble rousers.
Rabble rouse. Wow.
Raggy.
Ruby,
It was
Ruby,
Raggy and Scooby over there.
Ruby.
They eventually began evacuating the station, leading to protesters pushing up against police officers. Several protesters were tackled to the ground by authorities as they were taken into custody. One station was cleared. More chaos ensued on the street level when protesters blocked a street intersection. The volatile protest came days after nearly 30 was placed in a fatal chokehold by a 24-year-old Marine, Daniel Penny. That's his name.
And
After the homeless men yelled at subway riders and tossed trash, according to police and an eyewitness's account.
fake ass.
Neely's death was ruled a homicide by the city's medical, so he did rule it as a homicide, and that's
Oh,
why they will probably be
definitely.
pursuing.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, the legal team representing Penny argued that Neely was threatening Penny and other passengers, and the Marine acted in self-defense. His attorneys also claim he never intended to harm Neely. 2 other passengers helped restrain Neely before he died. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office will impanel a grand jury to determine whether or not to charge Penny. Neely had a long documented history of mental illness. I just want to note this. Uh, had a long documented history of mental illness and has been arrested more than 40 times. Law enforcement sources said the NYPD said anyone with tips should go ahead and give them a call. Let's be very clear. I am not snitching on anybody. If I happen to know who a protester is, more power
Hell
to
no.
you. You went out and did what I didn't do.
And
Pull a
my
cell
another
phone
thought I
and
have.
record. I know I hate that. People who just
Another
recorded for likes and not even doing anything about it.
I want it's twofold what I want to say. Then the first part is I think the city or state or the municipality in which these heinous acts happen, that they should be indicted. I think the city should be indicted. I think the city should
Mm,
reparate something or somebody, whether it be an organization, the victim's family, whatever the case may be. The city or the state need to be indicted where these tragedies happen. Now, to say about the cell phone
right.
thing, yes, everybody don't need to be recording for World Star, YouTube, IG, whatever. There does need to be documentation because in this day and age, one, like if you do intervene, you need to have backing as to why you intervene, because it'll be your word against the police or your word against this person or that person. One, two,
Right.
the recording of it is changing the way people react to a lot of these things. If you remember the
True.
movie Time to Kill, do you remember the movie Time to Kill with Samuel L.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson? The lawyer asked the jury, which was an all white jury, to, okay, I've told you all these things. You know this is a black man, and I'm paraphrasing, and this, that, and the third, and this happened, this happened, this happened. Close your eyes while I'm talking about how bad that little girl was a white girl that this happened to, and they can see it and empathize with it. The visual portrayal, the actual footage of these things happen. Tap
Yeah.
unless you're just that evil or heinous, it's gonna tap into the human in you, and you're gonna have to you're gonna just feel empathy or sympathy in the situation because you're gonna see it for yourself. There's a difference between times of old you read it in the newspaper or somebody told you, but now you're seeing these acts happen and you're seeing the actions of the individuals doing it, like when the guy was kneeling on
Right.
George Floyd's neck. The look he made when he was looking into the camera, like, yeah, okay, what? And the way that the guy held him up in the chokehold. You get to see these things, so it not only moves the emotions of us people who go through it all the time, but these
Yep.
other people that feel like, oh, they don't deserve that. That it should not be happening even to them. You know what I'm saying? Who feel like they might live a secluded life or a life outside of it. It taps into their humanity. So the recordings are needed. Everybody don't need to fucking be recording. Somebody need to be taking action. Like, okay, you proved your point. Get off of them, or that's enough.
Right.
Or, nah, you're not gonna be beating on them like this. You're not gonna da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Something needs to change. Something needs to be done.
Yeah, I see both sides, but I also really believe, to your point with the mental, New York City does not give a damn about the homeless or people with mental illness
That's
issues. I'm telling you because I know that they don't care at all about these people. And then they have these policies in place where you're not even getting arrested. They arrest you, but they let you right back out. They don't bother to figure out, are you mentally sound to be back out on the streets? What do you need to do? They're not doing anything to fix it. It's just a vicious cycle of go in, come out, arrested 40 times. If he's been arrested 40 times, that shows a pattern and a record of something going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's when we start becoming, we make these guys martyrs, no offense, but somebody who's been arrested 40 times is somebody who's clearly a troublemaker, like somebody who gets himself into trouble 40 times. So now he becomes the martyr because of how he was killed. When the fact of the matter is, again, I keep saying, I'm not justifying anybody dying, but New York City, when it comes to this type of situation, he's not the only one. This is a huge problem, and they definitely for sure need to do something about it. And yeah, Keisha, you're right. They also need to look at the young man who did it and figure out what his issue was, or if there was something that led up to that from a PTSD perspective, some mental issue that they need to work on, or he needs to work on, so that this doesn't happen again. He will never forever be the same. Nobody will, like, he will never live in peace. He will always be that guy that killed Jordan Neely. And when I say again, they don't do anything about it. Let's talk about that man last year, that big old man who beat on that little old Asian lady. You remember that? The one that
mm-hmm.
beat that lady into unconsciousness, where they closed the doors and nobody did anything about it instead of somebody to step in and intervene. Like, you can't look at it one way and not look at it the other. I'm not saying that death is okay, but the fact of the matter is mental illness is out here, and people are using it, and they are taking advantage and they running with it. And so listen, I got to defend myself. I have to defend myself. So I see both sides of it. I'm not okay in any of it. I really hope that they can come up with some kind of conclusion on how to do this better, even though it's a problem bigger than us. But I really do hope that they find a way to do this better, because it is sad. We are
we
killing
have,
each other off for no good reason
we
because
have
we
a
can't
guest
get the help and there's no resources. Okay.
we have a guest behind the scenes.
I make money doing the David.
Hello,
Right.
Adrian. Welcome to the live.
Adrian, good
Hey, hi
morning.
everybody.
Good
Good
morning. Good
morning. Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. How are y'all this
Morning,
morning? Hi,
boo.
Big Phil. Hey, D
How you
Love.
doing? How you doing, Adrian? How you doing? Good
I'm
morning.
well. I'm wonderful. On my way to the airport. I'm heading back home,
All right, all right, all right. Where's home?
Yes.
Georgia.
Georgia,
I'm from Philly. I
Georgia.
was born and raised in Philly. That's where I am right now. I'm in
Okay.
Philly, but I live in Georgia now, so I'm heading, to
ATL
the
or
new home.
Savannah?
Riverdale.
Okay, okay. So look, shout out to that South living, get more bang for your buck. You know what I'm talking about? I know that's right.
I don't know
Yes,
about
but
that. I
y'all
was in
are
Atlanta and
totally
they
right
listen
about
too.
y'all. Listen, y'all are totally right about how they dig into the victim's past. I don't understand that, and I just saw a
Mm-hmm.
post where a white man talked about that and said how, like, why is it that when a white person does a crime, they talk about, oh, he was so smart, he was quiet, this, that, and the third. But yet, when it's a black person that's victimized, that's a victim, they want to talk about, oh, well, he smoked weed, well, he had a checkered past. Or if he was an innocent person, they go to the parents' past.
Mm-hmm.
What that got to do with
Mm-hmm.
anything?
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused
Mm-hmm.
on that.
I'm
Because
not.
it shows a foundation of where people come from and why. And we could talk about this just on a level of us today. We are all impacted by our parents, our upbringing, their past, how they were raised, how they were not raised. The things that they bring to the table impacts us. So to go back to, so they shouldn't be going back into anybody's past, especially if you're a victim. But you cannot sit here and
Yeah,
say, okay, this person is dead, and be okay, so now he's a saint. He's not a saint. And
no.
again, I'm not judging him, but what I'm saying is across the board, people bring their own to the table. I'm not judging him, but I'm just saying he's not a saint. As somebody who's ridden the New York
Right.
subway system since I was 7 years old, I know that it is not always safe. I know that there are people out there with their issues. I know that they will attack. I know that they will. I had men try to put their hands up my skirt on the New York City subway systems. I've had people try to fill me up on the train. It happens. These people are
Mm.
not wrapped too tight and they take the opportunity to do what they want to do. So now when somebody steps in and does something about it, it becomes, oh, you know what, he didn't. So let me ask y'all this. I'm just going to ask this question. Would all of this be different if the guy who choked him out was black?
No,
Mm.
no, not for me.
Because that's what it seems like.
Not
It
for
always
me,
comes
but
down
that's
to
that's
a
that's
color
that's a good
issue.
question though.
No, not
Yeah.
for me. Not for me, because it's like, and I liken it to the Mike Brown situation. Whether he went in there and stole blunts or not does not warrant what all that happened after the fact. If he had a mental
Mhm.
illness, if he wasn't physically accosting somebody, it doesn't
Oh,
warrant
wow.
him
Right.
being matter of fact, even if he did, like, it doesn't warrant somebody losing their life. Whether they're
Yeah. Well,
mentally
just like
stable, mentally ill.
look at Tamir Rice, a toy gun.
Yeah.
It didn't. You know what I mean? It goes back to even him. Like there was no mental illness there. He was a little kid playing with a toy gun. How did
Right.
that warrant him being shot?
Because you gotta
But that no, you're
you gotta
talking. You're looking at a different situation when you're
that
talking
part,
about a
yeah.
Tamir Rice who's a straight up victim, like he didn't do anything. We're talking about somebody who is jumping on a train, speaking at a loud level, acting belligerent, talking about I haven't had nothing to eat and I haven't had a drink and
But
I'm ready to die today.
but does that
Like
warrant him
it's
dying today?
no. What I'm saying
No,
is,
it didn't.
what would have happened? What would have happened if nobody had done anything and he ultimately would have hurt somebody? He would have got arrested and he would have got back out. And now we're talking about a vicious cycle of people also being intimidated while just riding the subway system. I'm not
Yeah.
justifying that anything happened to him. I'm saying that this is a bigger issue and we always take it back to race. And it's like this is a bigger issue. This is a mental health issue. This is a NYPD messed up law issue. At the fact that they have not found this man the help that he needs, which is the biggest issue. He needs help.
I'm gonna tell
He's
you
not
where
the
they
only
messed up.
one.
When they closed down a lot of the mental health facilities and let these people back out on the streets, that's where they messed up.
That's why I
Right.
said the city or the municipality should be indicted them damn selves because they're
And I
part
think
they're
they
part
knew
of the
what they were
problem.
doing. I think they knew what they were doing,
I
and they knew they
justify
were
it.
going to have these problems, and they knew what it was. See, those people that were in there, now they needed the people to get back in the plantation and put them in prison to help and get that free
Ah,
labor.
you must have just read my mind. That part, more bodies for prison industry and the slave
Yeah,
Mentality and that slave, exactly, because it is a
because
business.
yeah,
I think that's what people don't understand. This is all a
exactly.
business. The jail part of
This
it is a
is
business. The mental
exactly.
illness part is a business. Get them in, get them out, get them in. Anytime they come, every time they come in, we charging y'all for it. Every time we medicate them, we charging y'all for it.
Exactly.
Every
They get
time we
they
get
get
arrested,
paid
somebody's
for
getting
it
charged
every
for it.
time.
and
Yeah.
all of
Yes,
them
indeed.
don't end up. All of them, most of them don't end up in a special unit for people that have mental illnesses either. They be in general population. Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they feel like
Yeah.
okay, they're able to function decent enough that we can get what we want out of them or what we need out of them, and they'll carry it as such. And it's an unfortunate situation. It's unfortunate.
Right.
And I think somebody said it. If the person would have been black choking them out, it'd have been worse. And I say that because let's talk about it. Most black and brown
If
families
we
deal,
can.
deal with somebody in some form, either immediate or extended family that has some kind of issue, mental illness or something, and or in our neighborhood where we've seen it. So
Right.
we understand. Oh, that's just so and so. He don't mean no harm. He just talking stuff, or he just da 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 da, and we'll handle it differently. If he acts out, then we might smack him out or do something. But we, you know what I'm saying? We process it and deal it. And because he might be, I don't know, the color that he is, he might have grown up in a different neighborhood. He might have grown up in a neighborhood where he hasn't really dealt with anybody that, you know what I'm saying, is a little off the rocker. You know what I'm saying? And he don't know how to take it or don't know how to handle it, on top of stereotypes that are levied upon us as black people and brown people, et cetera, et cetera. So in this situation, you gotta kind of look at race, but you don't have to make it a race thing. Because if it was a black man choking them out, I'd have had a problem with it too. To the point of
yeah.
killing them is crazy because you can't justify that. Now, I,
Right.
I'm just I'm a stern believer in if he acting up too much, shut the hell up. If he come over to you and try to do something, knock him the hell out. Do that. But to kill him over that,
No, kill him. That was extra.
that's like
Yeah,
somebody on the street with a gun because you don't like somebody what they saying. They're getting on your nerves. You
Mhm.
know what? Blah. Are they justified? No, no, no. No matter what they saying and who they saying it to or what they doing, long as it's not physicalities, long as he's not in the active mode of assaulting somebody, then one, why you got to put hands on him if he's not in your presence? If he's coming at you, you defend yourself. If he's trying to accost somebody or violate somebody, if you have the courage
Right.
to do so, you defend them. You defend them. Knock him out.
exactly.
Put him on his ass or something. But
So what happens if you knock him out and you kill him? What happens if you
I
just
mean
he in your face,
that can
you
happen.
knock him out
That can
and
happen.
you kill him?
But that's an accident. That's more of an accident. Then you sit
Right.
there for 15 minutes.
Then
You got
you
him
get
right
man. I'm
there.
gonna tell you though, but you will get manslaughter for that. You won't get.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But that's
Yeah.
a lot more reasonably
Yeah.
acceptable. It's a lot more reasonably acceptable in the eyes of us, the people that saw it,
Right.
as opposed to like we might say, damn, maybe he didn't have to hit him that hard, or damn, maybe this, but it's a lot less depraved to sit
But
there
you
and
just
Mm,
somebody
deliberately
get
like choke this man
choked
out
for 15
till
minutes.
he
It's a
died.
lot different. It's a lot different.
Yes.
It's not the
Yes.
so
same.
let me get into these comments because it's interesting. So Evolution Brooklyn says it sounds like there's an underlying issue with homeless people. To me, we got to start praying for and helping folks instead of vilifying them for their unfortunate situations. Agree, and there absolutely is. There's a
Yeah.
huge mental illness ish situation that is not being addressed. I don't even know that they even know how they don't know how to fix it, and they clearly don't know how to. Charlie's Hustle Vision said, as a black man, I know I just can't choke nobody out on a train unless it's clear self defense evidence and I got 10 witnesses. For
And
sure. You for sure. Because if it becomes a he say, she say, you're going to jail. You're
and
going to jail.
I think New York is like DC. I think they said New York doesn't have a self defense clause or whatever. Um,
Oh
but
gosh.
but I know this for a fact. I know in DC, you're the jury of your peers. At least the old DC. I don't know about the gentrified DC. Would let you walk up out of there. If it was a self defense situation, they weren't going
Yeah.
they weren't going to find you guilty. I don't know how if it'll work the same way in New York and how they put the juries together there. So I won't speak on that. But the fact that they
It's
don't
probably
have,
case by case.
yeah,
It's probably case by case
yeah,
in terms of the situation because they do look at the whole situation. Lovely Tink said they talk about how
that's
positive and nice these mass shooters are. Exactly. The mass shooter, nobody knew there was an issue until they walked into a school, into a
and let
supermarket,
it
into
go.
a church, a dance studio, and
But
cut up on
even
everybody. And then it becomes an issue.
But
That's a
see,
fact
even
though that
then
black
they
men
say,
wouldn't be
"Oh, he
let
was a
go.
quiet kid. He didn't bother nobody. He was a great student. He sat in class and he."
All of yeah. And a lot of times that the writing is on the wall in a lot of these situations. Sometimes you have that introvert that explodes or whatever, that quiet person. But a lot of times in a lot of these situations, there's things
There's
that
more.
have been done
Yeah.
in the household first and foremost that the parents see or have saw, family members, friends, etc. But it's their job to try to to desensitize and lessen the villainization of a lot of these people, and you can't do that. You gonna villainize victims, but you won't villainize the culprits. It's crazy. Ain't
Yeah.
that something? A crazy man
I
doing
think it's
crazy
definitely
things got choked out by another crazy man, and now
right.
it's crazy that they villainizing the one crazy man,
Right.
but not villainizing the other crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. They won't
Yeah,
villainize
it
the
really
crazy.
is. Right. Right. And I think it's important, like when we have these discussions, it's not a play like when you look at it, it's so much bigger than us.
Of
Everything
course.
that we talking about is our
Yeah.
perspective and our view,
Our
but
opinion.
it's so
Yeah.
much bigger than us. And it really comes down to just being aware because you never know where you're gonna be, you never know what's gonna go down. You definitely have to pay attention. Go ahead.
I'm here, guys. I'm gonna come down. I'm
Okay.
just going to say this real quick. Thank you for having me up. Thank you for the
Oh,
topic. The topic is great. I finally
appreciate
made it to the show because I'm usually sleep this time of morning. I'm only
Yes.
up because I got to get up. Be love. I want to say thank you. She was a great help to me yesterday at my event. Oh
That's a
God,
great event.
I want you to come back and let us know the behind the scenes with Big Lover.
There's no behind the scenes. There's no behind the scenes.
listen, she was
There's not
awesome.
two different
Listen, she
people.
was just super dope and awesome with helping me yesterday. Listen, she was look. It's almost like she created my products because she was out she was doing the damn thing yesterday. I mean, really
Listen,
getting people into it. They having them tested, test the product. They felt it. They was trying it on and they felt how smooth and creamy it was. It's not an overkill. It don't feel oily. It feels
mhm.
smooth. It ain't super hard where you gotta really get down to the nitty gritty and rub it into your skin. You know how shea butter can be
Cause she
hard.
does it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the way I mix it and everything, it's great. So she did a great job. I had the chebe oils for the hair, that helps your hair grow with hair growth. It contains cloves, which is antifungal. It's just a lot yesterday, and she was on point. She
You
is
you need to come
wonderful.
back. You need to come back on a Friday so
On
we
Friday,
fully
yes, I was just thinking that.
spotlight your business.
Entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
yep, spotlight
Okay.
where you could
Yeah.
come in and talk about your products. Amber in, you
Organics.
make sure
Yes.
Amber in organics. Everything is organic. It's really some really great products, and I think that's what I support. I support the good stuff. Like if I wasn't really feeling it, I would not be out there. I do have to say this for my people who are in Philly. Could you please tell me exactly where to get a good Philly cheesesteak because Fallon's yesterday was a fail. It was
Falone's
a no
no.
go for
See what
me
it
for
is. You
loans.
have to tell them no. But see what you didn't do. You have to tell them what you all. That's what I said to you. Is that all you
I
wanted
told
on?
them what I wanted. That's all I wanted. Then they still didn't put my cheese on there, and it was just a dry ass sandwich. No offense.
What? You didn't get a cheesesteak. You ain't get no.
That cooking
No,
because
because
that's
I
not
like my
that's not
very
for long.
simple.
they ain't put no
Listen to me.
I like my very
That's not.
simple. I just like my Philly cheesesteak with a
Yeah,
little bit of
no, that
onions
person
in
didn't
it.
know what
That's
was
it.
going.
And it was
You
not.
listen,
Yeah, it
listen.
was not done.
I'm here with Viddy. She can vouch for me. That's
Hey,
not for
Hi,
loans. For loans
Vinny.
don't do that.
No. You sure you were at
Okay.
Falone?
Yeah, we were.
Yep.
And that's what I'm
I
saying.
got a
No, for
whole
loans,
picture documenting it.
no, that
I
person did
saw
not
you in
know
the.
where they were doing.
Yeah, they just didn't do it right.
They didn't do
it's
it right.
not a
I
That's
used
that's
to.
not
I
cheesesteak
know,
though.
but
no.
It's not
that's
a
the
cheesesteak
problem.
without no
I
cheese.
needed the. Yeah, if you missing the cheese part, you already messed up. I'm like,
Yeah,
listen, I need my
well,
cheese. I
Man,
need
I
a
don't
little
know
bit of
what the
onions.
I didn't even know that. You should have told me that. We'd have took that sucker back, honey,
Yes,
because that
yes.
that is
No,
not
I
for
was
loans,
already
honey.
on
That
listen,
Falone's don't let you.
it was that's okay.
But
For
next,
loans, for me, not a win, but that's okay because the next time I go to Philly, I'm gonna try somewhere else. I'm on a struggle. I'm on a hunt for a
you want to
good
struggle.
Philly cheesesteak,
You
y'all.
want a
Sorry, but
cheesesteak
so
to go with the
where,
beef grease.
maybe that's
A
what they
whole
need,
nother
a little
where
beef
conversation.
grease in
A
my
whole nother
Philly
conversation.
cheesesteak.
I'll get her a bill. She said, so next, Viddy said, make sure you let her know next time you come. She's gonna make sure you get a good one.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Viddy. Thank
All
you.
right. Sure.
All
All
right,
right,
y'all. I'm
AK
Thank you,
going.
Travels.
A.
I
Love
see
you.
y'all. Love y'all. See y'all later. Thank
Be
you.
blessed. Yes,
Bye,
indeed.
babes. Yes, thank y'all so much.
Yeah, you supposed to look at
Always.
that off the break. You didn't look at it when they presented it to you. Like, where the hell is cheese at? Where the hell is the cheese?
I was like, where? First of all, where's the Philly cheesesteak? Like, you got this.
They gave you a
Hey,
Lancaster. They
music
gave you
for
a
God.
Lancaster steak sandwich. That's what they gave you. You didn't get no Philly cheese steak.
No
You know
Philly
what I'm talking
cheesesteak.
about? They gave you a
This is my second go round.
Bethlehem
Chop
steak
up.
kebab or something.
A Bethlehem chop up.
Man, listen.
So let me know in the comments, guys, where I can get a good Philly cheesesteak. I'm not giving up on it. I'm just saying I've been there twice in the past month, and it hasn't been a win for me yet. So
Both times to the same place.
both no, I went to another place last time. I can't remember the name of it. It was better, but it wasn't still, I don't know. I don't know what
What
to
you were.
expect. Like good food is good food to
Hey,
me. So
music
when people are
God.
like, what do you expect? I'm like, I just expect good food. I expect that when I eat it and I taste it, it's really good. I haven't had that experience with the Philly
What?
cheesesteak yet, but it's okay. It's gonna happen. It's going to
What?
happen. I have all the faith in the world that it's going to happen. Moving on into entertainment and
Moving on.
gossip news. So apparently Usher and Chris Brown got into some kind of altercation. They got into a heated argument on Saturday, which apparently led to some sort of scuffle that got violent outside. And they have the footage on TMZ. But this basically happened very early Saturday morning at the Skate Rock City roller rink in Vegas, where Chris Brown was celebrating his 34th birthday. He's only 34. It feels like he's been around well, he
A
has
little
been
bit
around for a
long,
very
yeah, because
long
he was
time.
so young, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, happy birthday to you, Chris. But while Usher and company sang to Chris earlier in the evening when everything was fine, things unfortunately got ugly in the wee hours of the morning. Well, eyewitnesses tell us Chris was attempting to talk to Tiana Taylor, who was also in attendance and sitting on a bench just outside of the rink. We're told for whatever reason, Tiana was ignoring Chris Brown. Our sources say that that pissed Chris off, and he started to yell at her. That's when Usher intervened and tried to calm him down, which is in the video that they have online. We're told Chris wasn't having it, cursing at Usher and Tiana, but then mostly focusing his anger directly at Usher. Eventually, our sources say Chris told his crew they were leaving. They exited the facility, and that's where Usher took off his skates and went after him. Eyewitnesses said they were present. They saw Usher go behind a string of buses that were parked in the lot where Chris and his crew were at. And then we're told later Usher emerged with what appeared to be a bloody nose. So nobody's clear on if he went to the hospital, which he probably didn't, or if a police report was filed, which I'm pretty sure there wasn't. We keep our business in the family as we should. But Chris was supposed to perform at Usher's show on Sunday, which he did. So I guess they put everything behind them, and I guess it was just a misunderstanding. I think this is again speaking to people. People are not perfect. Like they make, you know what I'm saying. People make mistakes, make bad judgment calls, and I'm just like, where was Tiana's husband? Because she's married, right, to a whole basketball player,
I was
Iman
say
Shumpert.
he's not a sucker, so it might bring some other stuff about.
Keisha.
Depending on what the conversation or what the issue was between him and Tiana, it could cause some other what you call this because Iman Shumpert is not a sucker or whatever. So
Right. Neither is Tiana for
almost called
for the record.
listen,
Tiana is hard
she a
body herself.
firecracker herself. Yeah, it's a fact.
She really
She was
is.
just
She's a
like,
Harlem
listen,
girl.
listen.
So the fact that she was just ignoring it, whatever went down, I think again, there's a human side of it, and as long as we just always try to stay respectful where we're not, you know what I'm saying, crossing any lines. Like sometimes there got to be a little smoke, but after the smoke, you clear it all up and you just keep it pushing. And, it definitely shouldn't stop a bag. So, Chris, if that was a bag for you to go see Usher, I mean, go be
And he
part of Usher.
and it probably made more sense to let him perform than that because he probably was paid X amount of dollars or whatever. So it was like you might as well get your money's worth out of it because it'd be money lost contractually, business wise. The messed up part about it and the saddest part about it was that I heard that his daughter was there, Chris Brown's daughter.
Oh,
So for your little baby
oh,
girl to be in the mix of all of whatever took place because we don't know because we weren't there, that should have been your first priority. They said in one point of one of the videos that he was trying to get to his daughter. So okay, cool, but maybe that shouldn't have happened at all because your daughter was there. Sometimes we got to be men, and sometimes we got to be thinkers. Sometimes we got to be mature. Sometimes we got to
mm-hmm.
walk away from certain situations so that it de-escalates, especially when our loved ones around. Not just because they could be harmed or injured, because they don't need to see us as parents acting out. You know, in certain situations.
Yeah,
But I wasn't there, so I don't know what all took place. We don't know if they actually fought or maybe some of their team, because they saying it was a possible he got jumped or whatever. We don't know. We'll find out later if something else comes out. But as of now, all we have are certain video clips to speculate and certain, the rumor mill gossiping. Man, Chris Brown and them beat the shit out of y'all to Usher. That's all we got for the moment. That's all we got. But man, it looked like Usher was being admirable and said, "Come on, man, just go and walk away from her." Da 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 da.
yeah,
As he should. One, because
right.
it's his event. Two, he's a man seeing a man for whatever reason getting into it with a woman. Wasn't his woman, so that make it even more like, yeah, go on, bud, go on and move on, move around. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, it seems like he did what you just said earlier. Sometimes you just got to step in and be like, hey, just move on. It ain't that serious. He tried to diffuse the situation, whether he came back with a bloody nose or whatever. Yeah, you're right, Jaleel. They talked about Usher had all type. Like, basically, they made it seem like he got beat up, but he was at his show the next day. He looked fine. Look, y'all got too much money to be out
caught
here
up.
fighting.
He got caught up. Dun, 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 caught up.
And oh, you funny.
I don't know all the words to it, but it was his song. Caught up.
Right. Chris are very close friends. Have friends have arguments only because they celeb. Yeah,
That's a fact.
exactly.
That's a
People have
fact.
disagreements, and y'all got too much. Listen, we have nothing to fight about. That's probably what Tiana was saying. We have nothing to fight about. Like it's just not that serious. So it's interesting how we're just so human, and I think people expect people to act a certain way.
Should be now realizing we all the same, no matter we got $5 in our pocket or 50 mil in our pocket. We all the same, most
Yes.
times, as far as what we like,
Yeah.
dislike, get sad about,
Yes.
get mad about, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, for sure.
We got to do better. We
Um
got to do better.
We seriously do. I think what's even, so interesting is like even when we have these discussions, everybody gets so sensitive. And whatever it is, and it's just like it's just talk. Like hopefully you're walking away with the right things, like how protective we need to be of mental illness. If you see somebody who's struggling with mental illness, be there for them in any way that you can. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who is in a situation where they struggling with something, be there for them in any way you can. I went down to Philly to support my girl because I am such a huge fan of entrepreneurship. I'm an entrepreneur myself and I believe in it. And I know it's not easy. It is not easy to work
I'm
for
definitely an
yourself.
entrepreneur. I'm definitely that.
And it's not easy to work for yourself. There's no bailout plan. There's nobody who's coming to fix anything. If you don't make it happen, it's not
It's
happening.
not
And I
happening.
just wanted to go out there and support my girl. You know what
Most
I mean? And
definitely.
and and anybody who wants to come up on Fridays, we are shouting out, highlight, spotlighting entrepreneurs. If you have a business or a product
Or
that you
business
guys want to
opportunities.
talk about it, yeah, come on Fridays. Hit me up, fill up in the DMs. Let us know what you want to talk about so we could tee you up. And come on in and talk
Hold
about it.
on.
That's what we're here to do.
Hold on. A legitimate business opportunity. Not no scams, not no bullshiggery.
What's a scam? Good morning, Amir.
Uh,
Not effing up his money. Okay,
trying to
J
think of a
Man.
good one. I'm trying to think of a good one. Um,
Amway. Oh Lord, I hope nobody
uh,
shoots me for Amway. I'm sorry. Let me not put nothing out there. I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut on this.
yeah. Uh, allegedly,
I'm-
what she said was not the consensus of this show, but of her words on.
right. I'm sorry. I've heard it. I've heard, that it's a pyramid. I need to come up and bring these candles. Yes, you should. Bring these candles. Bring anything that you're gonna highlight. And it's so funny because yesterday at the event, there was okay, so there were different tables. One was hair care products, the other one was toys, women's toys, erotic toys. The next was an edible table,
Really?
which yes, yes, and
She
yes,
said
I had some
yes,
damn it.
yes.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You sound a
Okay,
little
it's
bit too
called
happy about that. She
Incredibles.
said yes, yes, yes.
They had a sweet potato pie that, when I tell you guys, was
Man,
incredible. It was delicious. I was like, this is delicious, but it never kicked in, right? So then I go to the guy. His name is Corey. Corey from Incredibles on Instagram. The E in Incredibles is a 3, guys. So it's Incredibles. He has all the chips, like he has the Cheetos, the Doritos, but they're all infused. And
really?
then he had the sweet potato pie. So I was like, he's like, I said, okay, what do I start out with? And he was like, have the sweet potato pie. I said, should I eat the whole thing? Because when they giving edibles advice, they
Mm-hmm.
always say, don't eat the whole thing. Just
Take
start
your
with a little
time.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you never know if it's gonna kick in. So he's like, nah, just take the whole thing. So I was like, okay.
What?
That's what I me and Pooh were both like, okay. So I took the whole thing. It tastes delicious, but it absolutely did nothing for me. Nothing.
He either
So it's
has
about,
he either has
uh-huh.
CBD, he either has CBD edibles or Delta 8 edibles. Because if he infused them with just THC and you had a old what you call it, you'd have been fried at a point. You'd have been like,
So hold on, we moved on because we were not going to do edibles and not get a feeling. So I'll go back to him. He's at the table right next to us, and I'm like, Corey. He's like, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm not really feeling anything. Corey, what's up? I was like, gotta be something at that table. I gotta big you up over here. So he
yeah.
gives me the Sour Patch gummies, the little fishes. It was a wrap. 20 minutes later, I was just like, now we just started here. We would have been in a much better place an hour ago. So, I was so happy with those gummies. Everybody was like, what you could get from the edible to get the gummies. Get the gummies. It was delicious. And it hit right. You know what I'm saying? Like when you
Yeah.
take an edible, you just want it to it hit perfectly. So shout out to Incredibles with those amazing edibles.
Did you
But you
bring
won't be
some
mad at
home?
that sweet potato pie. I damn sure did. A
He said,
whole
I
little
did,
baggie
I did.
with a little brownie cookie. What do they call those cookies? What do they call those brownie cookies? Come on,
Brookies,
a
brookies or
brookie,
blondies.
brookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it was wee. Yes. I was like, okay. When Adrian tells you I was trying to sell her product, y'all, I was up there like, you gotta try this. You gotta put a little bit of berries and juices in your hair, like Phil.
What?
Berries and juices. No, because Phil, you got a nice grade of hair. You got the berries and juices you be putting in it. She
Thank
had the little thing. It was awesome. I know. Oh, Watchman, be nice. Takes about 4 days to hit your system. Yeah,
Damn it, watch.
those. Yeah, Watchmen, chill out. We on TV. No, we on YouTube.
He said live and
Keep
direct.
okay, keep it clean. But I did watch something on Netflix, and it was basically a Kevin Garnett. It was about Kevin Garnett, and I'm sure a lot of you know about Kevin Garnett. I know of him as well from the league. I'm not like a particular fan or anything like that, but they were just talking about his history. Amir Malik came up yesterday, and I thought it was just so beautiful how, he was spoken about and just honored. And we take life for granted, not to be somber, but we do take life for granted, so we really do need to celebrate every single day that we can, because life is real. Okay, all right, unless you got a sofa for my ass, I'm gonna need you to stop keeping you seriously about to get the locks changed on my
And J
ass.
Man, my DMs do not be popping. Thank you very much. And then there are no flights booked at all.
Oh,
None.
Delta 8 is a I thought that Delta 8 was like the potpourri. Like, it's not the same thing
No,
that
no, no.
Delta
That's
8.
K2. No, oh, no, no, no.
Oh, okay.
Delta 8 is a compound that's within marijuana, but it's a little bit different. You have THCA, THCC, you got Delta 8, Delta 9, you got it's different things. CBD, CBG, there's different components of that's in marijuana that can be broken down and utilized for different things. And Delta 8 will can give you a buzz, but nothing like weed or THC. Like it's hit or miss. Like you might get a little buzz or you might not get nothing depending on, what it is. Oh Lord.
Do tell. Let me. I feel is a renaissance man. Last
I'm
weekend
all
he was
over
giving out French lessons.
le plus, le
Today
plus.
he giving out science lessons.
Les
I
so
love
le,
it.
le puff, le puff and pass.
Lip- he puffing puke. Yo, that is so funny. I just, with me, when I smoked weed, I didn't know anything about THC, BCD, CBD, none of it. All I knew
Just
is I got a
BBD
bag of
family.
green. Just it, just a bag of green that you just rolled up and you smoked. Like, there was nothing special about it. Now there's all these weed rules. My old mind can't take it. I'm high now. Okay.
Ah,
J man, you
le
funny.
puff and pass.
Yes. The French lessons every day, right here, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, y'all. Right here, we got the Lee something going on.
Le blue.
So, is there anything over there you want to talk about, my co-host?
Man, listen. We've kind of covered a nice spectrum. We talked about the old biddy and the old man over in England and the bullshiggery of their
Oh, video.
monarchy and all that garbage. We've talked about the unfortunate and tragic situation that's becoming too commonplace in the shooting in Texas. Prayers
Yeah,
out to them folks and anybody that goes through any such thing. We've talked about the unfortunate situation with the dude getting choked out on the
yeah.
train, and
What a Nelly.
and things that come that deal with that. We've talked about shea butter. We've talked about refined and unrefined beef grease. Said the edible, and she was looking at this shea butter like, this is really beef grease. I'm gonna sell this. I'm gonna sell.
Put
She
a
was
little in your hair. It'll stimulate those
Yeah,
roots.
Adrian said she became the #1 salesperson and sales marketing rep. She was like, "Yeah, we gonna get this going because this some good beef grease here." Listen, listen, ladies and gentlemen, get
Oh,
downstairs.
shoot.
You need to
Okay.
try this. Hands on deck.
Yes, all hands on deck.
But no, that's a dope thing. It's always good to be able to get out, travel, see different things, experience different things, and go tap in with your friends and loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we either
Yeah.
work too much or dealing with life issues, and we don't get to enjoy ourselves like we should. So the fact that you got away, sorry about your steak without cheese. I don't know where they get
Yeah.
your cheesesteak with
She's
no
like, you
cheese.
gotta tell her what you want. I'm like, I want a Philly cheesesteak. What more do I need to say? What more do I need? I kind of just thought it was already made like situation. Philly cheesesteak, cheese, onions. Like, okay, if you want to add extra stuff, that's fine. But if I just say a Philly cheesesteak, just give me this. It's like going to the bodega and saying I want a bacon, egg, and cheese. They know what to do. You don't got to give them no direction. They know what to do. They go, salt, pepper, ketchup, mommy? No, no ketchup, but salt and pepper. Okay, it's done. It's a done deal. It's a done deal.
Either that or
So,
you went up in there and you was a little bougie and that cook was like, you know what, watch this. Get her up out of here and just threw some
no.
meatballs on the bun and was like, you up out of here. You gonna be
Well, you
difficult.
know what was interesting is that it was a Asian owned restaurant. So I'm not trying to stereotype because Asians could cook their asses off. So I'm not being stereotypical. But who started the Philly cheesesteak? Is it an Italian thing? Because I think that I need to go to the Italian spot if that's what it is. Like you can't go get arroz con gandules from the Asians. Like I'm getting arroz con gandules from the Dominicans. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like there's certain things that fall
But you
into
know
your
you go for
lane.
certain people. Now that's a good question when
Yeah.
it comes to cheesesteaks. Who originated that? That's a good question. That's a good question.
Oh
I don't know.
Lord.
Brown sugar is
So
better
wow.
for you than white sugar all day if that's what if you must
Is that the debate? Is
if
that the
that's what you
debate?
must know. I know they being
I
funny.
agree.
They being funny, but
I
yeah,
agree. Oh Lord, not the sugar. The brown sugar always, yeah, is better. It's healthier for you.
that part, that white sugar
I
will do
did.
something crazy to you.
That white sugar mess you up bad. Everything about that white sugar is bad.
Talk about it.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm drinking sugar, because I drink coffee every morning, I use equal, which isn't good for you. But when I'm really trying to be on my health situation, I will put brown sugar in my coffee.
Brown sugar,
And
sugar.
it's so much better.
Yeah,
Or that sugar in the raw. That
yeah,
sugar in the raw takes 10 years to melt, though. I ain't gonna lie. That sugar in the raw is, you have like a hole this much on the bottom of your
yeah,
cup and it
yeah.
still ain't sweet. You like this. Do
If you
you
ain't got
know?
the drink ain't like if you got iced tea and you trying to put some sugar in it, you kind of
It
shit
ain't
out
gonna
of
work.
luck. But if you got hot tea, yeah, then you good. But some iced tea, womp 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 womp. Did I had this up here the whole time?
Yeah, no.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, for sure. But no, brown sugar is just literally white sugar with molasses. Oh, damn, Keisha.
No, it's not Keisha Hall.
Is
No,
it?
no. Raw sugar isn't white. Raw sugar isn't white itself. We're not talking. Hold on, Keisha. We're not talking about light brown sugar and dark brown sugar that you get from Domino's. We're not talking about that. We're not talking. We're talking about organic. We're talking about organic brown sugar, organic sugar. We're not talking
She
about
said it is.
that.
Well, let me ask y'all this. I mean, because really, we should be using stuff like honey, which is all natural. You know what I'm saying? To sweeten our stuff, but it just kind of leaves. I guess you have to get used to it, but it leaves a little like agave. Do you use
agave,
agave in any of
agave
your?
is good. Agave is
Yeah,
actually really good. Yeah.
yeah. It's that white sugar is really brown sugar is white sugar with molasses. Yeah, we talking about the same sugar. J man, we are talking about the same sugar. I did want to talk about, I don't know if you guys heard about the 2 10-year-olds that
No,
worked
we
at
not.
McDonald's
210.
until two
Oh,
that worked until 2 in the morning.
I heard somebody, but I never looked into the thing. I seen the caption. Wow, that
I'm
was
gonna talk about it.
that was
That
real.
was real. So two McDonald's franchises in Kentucky worked force a 10-year-old to work until 2 a.m. without pay. The U.S. government slapped three McDonald's franchises in Kentucky with more than $200,000 in fines after an investigation found they employed minors, including a 10-year-old who was legally made to work until 2 a.m. and who was allowed to operate a deep fryer, all without getting paid.
Ho,
Okay,
ho,
y'all,
ho,
y'all
ho,
real
ho.
wild for the night, Kentucky.
Okay, now at first I'm thinking, okay, somebody mama didn't have no babysitter, brought their kids in there. Come on, you bring your ass on. When I was younger, that happened a lot. Not in no fast food place, but mothers brought their kids
Right.
to work. Um, but you saying they
You right,
operated
Keisha.
the deep fryer? That's crazy.
No, hold on.
Where
It's
was this
a
at?
bunch of them.
Where was this
So
at?
a franchise that hold on. It's a bunch of them. It's not just like one or two. So a franchise in Louisville employed two 10-year-old workers who were among some 2 dozen minors under the age of 16 to work across 10 McDonald's locations owned by Louisville-based Bauer Food LLC, it's alleged. The miners were tasked with preparing and distributing food orders, cleaning the store, manning the drive-through windows, operating a register, and manning the deep fryer, which is only
Wow,
permitted for employees over the age of 16. First of all, I thought you had to be like 14. I thought 14 was the minimum age you could work,
wow. Where did he get
according
these
to the
kids
city.
from?
The investigators also determined two 10-year-olds were employed but not paid and sometimes worked as late as 2 a.m. That's because they couldn't get their social security card from their mama to put in the application because they were 10.
Wow, that's
Bauer Food
crazy.
LLC was forced to pay $39,711 in fines. They were levied by the Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division. These reports are unacceptable, deeply troubling, and run afoul of the high expectations we have for the entire McDonald's brand. We are committed to ensuring our franchisees have the resources they need to foster safe workplaces for all employees and maintain compliance with labor laws. The 10-year-olds allegedly employed were children of a night manager who were visiting their parents at work and were not approved by the franchise organization to be in that part of the. So it says what you said. Somebody brought their kid to work and they probably were like, let's jump on them fries real quick, do something.
what
Because
happened was
parents always quick to put you to work.
what happened was you said something about what was the goal to foster in something something. They what they did was
Yes.
the lady brought her foster kids in there and put their ass to work. That's crazy.
I
That's
hope
crazy.
not.
You'll get your
Oh
what you
my
get over on
God.
fries and your ass go over there and yeah, get them
Right.
patties
Handle that
together.
drive through. We sure handed today.
That's crazy. That's
Okay, Des. I think I should be able to retire now. Me too. I started working at 14. Me too.
man.
But I think, 2 10-year-olds, there's so much danger to that. Even though there's kids
Operating a
today who
deep fryer
cook.
on
I
top of
mean, my dad said my mom had me working in her cleaners at 11. I was getting paid. I was the candy man in my school. I can't. Did you have the little brown bag, Des BX, with the annihilators, the Boston baked beans, the lemon
what you know about the
heads?
Boston baked bean.
Okay, the red hots. You know how you get the
The
little
Mike and
bag.
Ike's,
The Mike and Ike's, you were just spending more than $1,
the
and you
squirrel
had the
nuts and
bag of treats till the doctor, till the teacher confiscated them. Why they always confiscated
because
our
they knew
goods
you was gonna act
though?
out, you were gonna get hyper. They get to
They be
cutting
like,
up. You was gonna
they
be
be like, you got
distracting
enough for
your
the whole
classmates,
class.
distracting your
Yes,
classmates. Yep.
that bag was this big, and it was chock full of all types of good stuff, man. Those lemon heads were
Alexander the
life.
Great. Wow, I didn't see Alexander the Great
Okay,
in a long time. Wow.
remember that? What's
I
the
still
purple
see
ones?
lemonade. Huh?
The lavender candy. What's the name of that?
Lavender
The purple one, the little cubes. They were little cubes of lavender, and they came in a purple pack. Tell me in the comments,
Annihilator. You
guys.
talking about Annihilator?
No, those are
Annihilator?
grape annihilators. No, they're the lavender candy, and they come in the little purple pack, and they were,
Lavender.
yeah. What's the name of this lavender candy? Violets, violets. Look
I
at
ain't never
this.
heard
This is
it.
on
I
it.
ain't never heard
Yes,
violence.
violets. It was a little. They were a little pack like this, and the little cube was really skinny. Violet's candy. Mm-hmm. It
This
looked like this, Phil.
there's certain nostalgic stores you can go to.
Let's see if you can see it. See it?
Okay, yeah, I've never seen
Violet.
that before though. Yeah, yeah, they ain't had that.
Yes.
But there's certain
Violets.
nostalgic stores that you can go to in certain areas where you can get some of them throwback candies and such. Of course, they're not as cheap as they used to be,
No,
but
no.
yeah.
They charge it more. In fact, these are $14.99 at Amazon. I'm gonna need you to relax, Amazon. These were
How many
15
packs?
cents when I was buying
Yeah, how many
it.
packs?
Six in a pack.
That's
Had
over
your
two
mouth smell
dollars a
good.
pack.
Yes.
That's over $2 a
Might be
pack.
before my time. I guess maybe it was an area thing. Tink, lavender candy, never heard of them. Yeah, they called violets.
Yeah, I ain't
They
never
were really good too. They were really nice, but they really did nothing for you in terms
heard.
of like killing no dragon and nothing like that. But anywho, I know we talked about a lot today, y'all. Is there anything y'all want to talk about? We gonna be rolling up out of here in a little bit, but we still got a few more minutes.
Rolling, rolling, rolling on that beef grease. Gotta be
Oh
loving.
Lord.
Rolling. Look, I
Put a
caught off
little in
guard.
your
You know
hair.
me.
Put a
You
little.
like this
I
when
know.
I
I'm like
say
I'm
that?
good. Put a little bit in your hair.
Not in my hair.
Grow
Pause.
those roots. Yes, Violet's been out since the '70s. All right,
Really?
Richard. Thank you
Wow.
so much. Yeah, they
You
still
said
sell
had
it.
your
I'll
breath
take
smelling
peanut chew.
good. Peanut
Yes,
chew.
I love
Yeah.
me a peanut chew. And
What
them
a fishy.
fishies.
What a fishy.
Yes.
Swedish fish.
The Swedish fish.
Swedish
Yeah,
fish.
Swedish
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
fish. Yes. What's your favorite candy? I will still tear up a goddamn Snicker today. And then they make them in the big super size. So back in the days, run to the store, get your little Snickers, your chips, squirrel nuts. No, I don't know. No. Anyway, really?
You said. I'm just saying. I'm
Because
agreeing.
we could go back to sugar. I'm going to a whole different part of sugar. We could go back to
Well,
sugar.
yeah, I like organic sugar.
White sugar,
No,
brown
no,
sugar.
I don't use white sugar. I organic sugar. Brown sugar. Yeah. Squirrel nuts. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that's a fact.
What is squirrel nuts? That's a candy?
Little candy that came in the wrapper. It was like this. It was like a salty, sugary, caramelly type of, and had little bits of pause nuts in it.
He says squirrely.
A lovely take.
He like a little between. See
Little
now, y'all
Chico
never
stick
seen
shit.
violets,
Hell no,
and I
I ain't
never
never.
seen squirrel nuts. I never seen this candy
Really?
before.
Squirrel
Yep,
nuts
no.
would have been in a true penny candy store where they had penny candy at a time, and then they went
Mm-hmm.
from a penny to like 3 cents, and then 3 cents to 5 cents, and they were individually
Nope.
wrapped. Real
But
good.
the Mary Janes with life. I love me a
Yeah.
Mary Jane. I love a payday. I
Now
don't
in
know if
this
y'all had payday.
payday, oh yeah. Now in this day and age, I don't eat too many. I
Peanut
don't eat
cheese, honey
too
bees.
much candy. I'll eat candy like every blue moon, but I don't eat a lot of candy. But I guess because I ate so much
Everybody
as a
put their
youngin.
really. I gotta have my like mood. I used to be a really bad junk food eater, but oh Lord, J Man, y'all gotta get with me on this whole sugar thing because I am missing something here.
No, you're not.
Favorite
There's
candy,
nothing to
music
miss.
for God, candy corn. I love some candy corn. Halloween
Pause.
comes
Music
around,
for
I'm on a
God.
bowl of that. Kit Kat, Crunch, and Twix. Remember Crunch?
Oh yeah,
Do they
Crunch
sell that
Bar. Yeah, they
anymore?
do.
Yeah. I want to hear from both of you what you're. So this is from Keisha. So this is off topic. That's okay. We go wild over here. But I want to hear from both of you. What is your go-to dinner that you cook? The hardest thing when you become an adult is thinking about what to cook for dinner. So give me some more ideas. Okay. I'll let Phil go with that. We'll
No,
start
no,
with
don't
that
no,
one.
no. Go ahead, cookologist. Look,
Buckeyes.
my go-to dish, man. Listen, it all depends because I can cook a hell of a steak, with anything. Um, Man, you talk about cheesesteak. I got a mean cheesesteak. I love to grill. I love to bake. Chicken. Any kind of chicken. Depending on the person, I'm gonna make something that's gonna delight her palate. My kids love my cooking. They get mad because I don't cook enough. You feel me?
Oh.
But it is what it is. Chef
I
Boyardee,
like.
that's what they call me.
Yes. Okay. He got a little red hat on. Chef Boyardee.
Let
One
me.
meal.
What do you like to cook?
Um,
What's your go-to dish or whatever?
one of my
Just one.
go-tos is I know, right? Phil went into his whole repertoire of what he makes. One of my favorites to make is I either like grilling up either a protein, so either salmon, steak, or chicken. I like to like toss it in the pan, sear both sides, and then give it a slow cook in the oven, and then toss that over some pasta with some olive oil, season up the pasta, and that way I just get a little bit of protein, a little bit of carb, and it lasts for a few days. So, but one of my very favorites I made it the other day is meatloaf. I love some meatloaf. I love a damn meatloaf. What is so funny?
Keyshawn
Like,
said nothing about a woman, nothing about a woman, just a meal. LMAO,
okay,
Phil always
always smooth.
with it. No, I'm not. I'm just saying. Listen,
Throwing some
just
ish in the
saying.
game. Okay, I love some salmon croquettes, J
Spaghetti.
man. Yes. So I don't know. So okay, so when I was growing up, my mom used to buy salmon in a can. We would have fresh salmon, but she always
Salmon
kept like these
croquettes.
kind of canned goods. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
She would make those salmon in a can. Now the thing about salmon in a can was that you had to take the bone out of
Bones
it.
out of it. Yeah.
And she never did. But recently I had some she never did. You'd be like, ew, this is disgusting. But you had to eat it. You had to eat it. But just recently, I had some salmon in the cabinet, and I was like, I think I'm gonna just hook up some croquettes. When I tell you those salmon croquettes were life after you take the bone out, I
Yeah.
was like, because you want the fresh seafood, but the fresh seafood costs it's expensive now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just saying, don't sleep on those salmon in a can. Definitely try it out,
That part.
Keisha. Crack open that can, get the get your breadcrumbs. I like the panko ones, little
What you know
egg,
about
little
that? What you know?
panko, little seasoning, and toss them in the pan. It's so good. I'm trying to learn some one pot dish. Ooh, I haven't had meatloaf in a minute. Yes, meatloaf is so good. That's how you make croquettes. Yes. But I didn't always make them with the can. I would make it with fresh salmon, Robborn. Keisha J man, I never have that. We'll have to look that up. I'm making that tonight, Keisha. Spaghetti. You're right, Joe. Spaghetti is always a good look. Well, I
How do
hope
you
we gave y'all
how do you
some
all like to
inspiration.
how do you like to eat your spaghetti, be love? Some people prepare the noodles and put them to the side and then have your sauce and put it on later, or do you make it all in one pot? Boil your noodles, your sauce, put it in one pot, and then mix it up, and then serve it that way. How do you all?
I like it together and a little bit dry. I don't know if that makes sense when I say a little bit dry. You know how some pasta could be real wet times
Look,
when
her
you let it cook and the pasta becomes a little bit dry. I like it like that. Yes. I love it with some garlic bread. You forgetting the bell pepper and the croquette. Yes. Yes, put your bell pepper in there.
morning
Hey
down.
DL me 226. Tinky takes it mixed. How do you take
Hey
yours?
Asia, how you doing, Asia? Yeah, me, I'm the same way. I like my spaghetti mixed. You know what I'm saying? With some
Oh, she perked.
what you call it, with some ground beef, ground turkey, and some beef sausage in there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And have
okay.
just the right amount of sauce, tomato sauce, pasta sauce, whatever you want to call it, in that thing. And spaghetti is one of those meals that it tastes fabulous when you first have it, but the leftovers the next day be off the chain. Some foods you
Yes.
be like, I don't want no more of that. Spaghetti's one of
Yes.
them, man. Listen, I'm going home today. Eat me some more spaghetti. 'Cause that the
Okay.
marinade, you be like, God damn it.
With white queso, I've never had spaghetti. I mean, with white cheese queso, no, I never had spaghetti with white cheese queso. The only white I go to on with any kind of pasta is Alfredo, which is another favorite. I love some
Chicken,
Alfredo.
chicken Alfredo or shrimp Alfredo or that.
Yes, even salmon Alfredo. Cut that salmon up in some chunks and just make.
Jug say
Oh
he like his
man,
a
y'all
dry
making me
soup.
hungry. Yes, a little bit dry. The next day, yes, next day spaghetti. You right. take it
Ain't
be,
nothing
and I
like.
put it right. You be taking it to lunch with you. And I'm not a lunch taker. Like I don't take lunch to work, but spaghetti's one of those. I always throw one in a little, just need
That
a little
part.
spaghetti in my life. Just need a little spaghetti. Um, but I hope that gave you some inspiration, some meatloaf. She said they spaghettied out. Try those salmon croquettes. They are divine over a nice little bed of rice. Okay, I'll try it, J Man.
Young Dread,
Juicy spaghetti.
my ex used to do that. I didn't do that though. Put sugar
What's
in
that?
get sugar in your spaghetti to cut. No. Mm-mm.
I do put a little sugar in my spaghetti. I'm not gonna
Mm-mm.
lie, just a little bit. I just like it a
Mm-mm.
little bit. Too. Oh
Mm-mm.
Lord, why, yo, Dress? Why did you just open that up? Thanks for sharing. Yes, doll. Let us know what you make on Wednesday. What you're having for dinner. What you making for dinner today, Phil?
Some wish sandwiches.
Oh,
Actually, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what I'm cooking. I don't, if I'm cooking at all, to be 100. But
no, I don't
I'm,
do
I'm still
cornbread
thinking
with
about
my
I'm still thinking
spaghetti.
about breakfast. Y'all talking about some damn dinner? I ain't nothing at all. My stomach going.
Listen, you and your stomach are about to be cut loose. What's going on this week?
Listen, you know what it is. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're here. Good morning, gang. The morning show. Me, my beautiful co-host, Beef Grease Queen, Be Lava. Y'all out of here. She's like, y'all leave me alone with the damn baby. But no, here, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, the Good Morning Gang Morning Show. Friday evenings, 8 to 10, with my other beautiful co-host, Evolution Brooklyn. The
Yes,
Feel the Love Show.
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, that
Yes.
part. And then you'll see me on IG streets trying to stay out the way and out of bullshiggery. But the daily tapping is coming sooner than later. And y'all gonna be able to tap in. We're gonna have topics, topics on topics on topics. And it's gonna be an open forum situation. And we're gonna have at it. How about you, be love?
Same here. You already know I am flying out tonight. I will be in Florida for the rest of the week. So
Ow!
Wednesday, you will probably be seeing a little beast run around, which will be my grandson, doing the most, but it's okay. You know how I love family. Getting ready for Mother's Day, guys. So please make sure you take care
Oh,
of the moms. It's about the thought, it's not about how much you spend. I know we all want to take care of our moms and do a
that
lot
part.
for them because they do a lot for us. But
That part.
just be thoughtful in your gift. It's not about how much you spend. So I'll be getting ready for Mother's Day, and I'll be on these IGLGL streets. Make sure y'all see me there. Make sure you're following. Make sure you subscribe here. I'll be right here this Wednesday for the Hump Day replay. And ask Good Morning Gang. If y'all have questions, make sure you're asking questions. We got the advice teed up, even though I don't think we're qualified to give any, but we're gonna do it anyway because that's what we do here. Stop by the store and send me some sugar, please, and thank you. You're funny. I'm leaving this afternoon. I see you in Florida, Tampa. I'm gonna be in Tampa, Music for God too. So
Tampa.
let me know where you're gonna be at. I'll be there all week. Yeah, my expertise in sour cream, so I started to do that. I had to the cornbread is real serious. I just love cornbread as a side. So make sure y'all check out these recipes, guys. Maybe we need to do a segment, cooking with the Good Morning Gang, where we could start talking about some recipes. Let us know what y'all think about that. If y'all
Y'all,
want to see us
listen,
cooking
y'all not
something,
ready. Y'all might have to pay for that. Y'all might have to pay for that because
DM me.
these ain't ancient Chinese secrets. These is deep, dark, deep, not dark secrets, but deep secrets. You got to pay for them. My cooking is different. You hear me?
Well, I want my cut. So make sure you hit me up on IG. I want my cut. So I'm not mad at it, guys. But until we see you guys, make sure you love yourselves, love God. Please stay blessed. And I'll let our co host take us out.
Listen, I see the bullshiggery in the comments. Smile, because you never know what it might do to somebody, including yourself. Huh?
Yes.
More importantly, love on somebody on
On
purpose.
purpose.
With purpose. And then with that being said, till we chop it up and have a tater tay until that day, me and be lover, we will holler. Nah,
Bye, guys.